I'm assuming you've run into some interesting mindsets along the way, whether it be
Yes.
at the very high levels of Oscar-winning screenwriters to the amateur just starting out. What are some of the biggest obstacles you see that screenwriters put in front of themselves to stop them? And I'm sure you've met super talented screenwriters who are just like,
Yes.
why aren't you doing more? Why stop thinking that way? What are some of those
Yeah.
things?
Well, one thing is people who don't want to learn.
Hmm.
And they really think that they know everything, in which case there's no reason for them to come to me. But sometimes they do anyway. I think they hope I'm going to write 20 pages about how wonderful they are and say, you're going, no matter what, you're going to get a critique. I mean, that's what I do. But I think that's the hardest thing is people who push things away that can help them and say, I or people like me are not there to tell them what to do. We're there to show them how they can get more out of their script. And we don't just say, well, do the scene this way. We say, look, you want more movement in this scene, or, we talk conceptually. So I think there's kind of the sense about everyone being open. Another thing, and I say this in a lot of my seminars, say learn to say yes instead of no. Now, have your characters say yes because no stops the story and yes opens it up. So if the guy says to the girl, you want to go out with me Saturday night to dinner? And she says no, we don't have a story. And when I'm invited to places, I just generally say yes a lot. Now, I don't say yes to dangerous situations, but I'm going to be going and teaching in 9 countries this fall. So I've been saying yes to Kazakhstan and to Kiev and to Warsaw and Latvia and all this. But I also, now in my case, I also check things out in terms of the safety side. And I did say no to Tehran. I said no to Kurdistan. I said no to Nigeria.
As you
And
should, as you should at this
and
point.
I have a group of consultants. They're made up of generals and colonels who know the world. And I say, is Latvia safe? They say, yeah, but don't go to Russia right now. Or don't go to Tehran right now. And so I take them more seriously than the State Department. So, but one of the things I found in my seminars last fall, so many people came up to me after and said, that is such a great concept for life, is to say yes. And what I see is screenwriters sabotaging their careers. So somebody says, we'd like you to write the script, but we don't have much money. I say, oh, no, I don't want to do it. It's their first opportunity. Said, your first opportunity, you say yes. I mean, you want to keep the ripple effect going. And if you don't say yes, you have no narrative line about you as a screenwriter. So, later down the line, you're going to say no to some stuff and yes to others. But even in my work now, I generally don't say no to things because I want things to keep opening up. And so, as I say, I have the whole spectrum of writers. And sometimes people say, well, do you only work with studio films? I say, no, of course not. I work with people, just have to contact me. I work with them.
Exactly. And I think there was a book by Shonda Rhimes, The Year of Saying Yes, where she
Oh,
literally said
that's
yes.
neat.
She literally said yes to everything. And she's like, I'm going to do an experiment, and anything that I get asked, no one knew that she was doing this, but for a year she said yes to everything. And she said her world changed
Oh, yeah.
because her opportunities just opened up, and she just started going to places and doing things that she would have never done because of her own mindsets or because of her own things that she
Yes.
said no to. So,
And I think the other thing is look for places where you can be kind and generous. And that there's a lot of time. I mean, if people email me, I do try to respond. I mean, I don't necessarily respond with a 4-page email, but I do try to recognize, people are reaching out for help. And I think sometimes you see people in this industry who just are not generous. And then you see the people who are. And one of the loveliest things I heard was I have a friend who's has produced and put together some very, very big film festivals. And she says, one of the nicest guys I ever met was Liam Neeson. He got off the plane. He says, what can I do to help you? She says, oh my gosh, isn't that the nicest things? Versus someone getting off the plane with their entourage and their stuck-up nose and, do this, do that. And so I think all of us, and it doesn't matter where we are in the world, is to say, I'm here. I want to do good things. And my sense is it's kind of like writing. If somebody says, why do you write? Says the only reason to write is to change the world as we know it.
Mm-hmm. Without question.
Yeah. So